So, thank you everybody and welcome to the HL. So, dear ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy and pleased to welcome you for this second edition of the Swiss WUSWU Next Generation. What an inspiring place to celebrate Next Generation here in AHL. The evening will be punctuated by 6 runs of 2 participants. The NEXTGEN profiles present on stage tonight are all exceptional and deserve to be duly congratulated for who they are and what they represent. So I have the great pleasure to present you David Yenisselik, Valentine Barbier-Muller, Alexandre Bonvin, Margot Duchamp, Noam Yaron, and Sofia Yokoyama. Thank you very much for your participation. The whole discussion will be oriented by the thematic Bigger Than Myself, and the ceremony will be led by our Master of Ceremony, Séverine Pin. Last but not least, a special mention to our main sponsors and main partners, Jacques Héderault, Fondation Saint-Exupéry pour la Jeunesse, Doris Handgartner, and Mont Blanc Cultural Foundation, and of course, EHL. Let's now start with CAROLE ACKERMANN, President of Trustees of the AHL Foundation. Thank you and enjoy your evening.
Thank you. Well, dear distinguished guests, dear next generation, dear friends of Swiss, who is who, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor and a great pleasure to welcome here tonight at EHL. And it's wonderful to see many familiar faces. And on top, I assume it's also great to have many of the interested guests on a live stream. It's true. So also a big hello to everybody who's following us online. And we are celebrating tonight this NEXTGEN Award. It's an award for Generation Y and those who are truly exceptional. And as Olivier mentioned, in a few minutes you will get to meet some of these truly extraordinary people here on stage, hear their stories, and I hope celebrate their achievements. When I was preparing this short welcome speech to address to you, I thought, what does it take to be elected and honored with the NEXTGEN Award? And looking back on last year's winners, the criteria that crossed my mind were very, very close to the EHL Tempo principles. These are the leadership principles we defined at EHL. Principles have been defined by our employees as a guiding stars, and principles will guide our staff, our employees, and managers, and they are there to show the way we want them to interact with each other. And to give you a flavor of what that means, let me swiftly mention it starts with transparency. And transparency with yourself and transparency with others. It continues with entrepreneurship, making sure that we dare to speak up and take digestible but calculated risks, keen to collaborate with others, taking care of others and yourself. And I'm just coming out of a speech about sleep and the importance of sleep. So having the right energy balance and recognize when it's time and you need a break. And last but not least, being accountable for what you do and for what your team does. And you might be surprised about these values, as we are here at EHL, the world's leading hospitality school, where 130 years, many hard facts were taught, such as best practices, lean management, financial accounting, supply chain, quality management, and so on. But all these disciplines were always accompanied by the so-called soft skills. Soft skills of human interaction, human centricity, and people management. And that's also where EHL is going towards. All this because we are deeply convinced that only if we understand our guests, our clients, our students, and our customers and peers cognitively and emotionally, we really make a difference. And that's what we want to do also for the future. And this is even more important with the new technology popping up and the requests of new ways of learning, of new ways of teaching, and of new ways of serving customers. But back to you, dear generation, or new generation, or millennial generation, I wanted to ask you, how good are you in these principles? How important is transparency for you? And maybe address it also to those who are next gen in their mind, which is probably, I hope, everybody here. So, how accountable are you for what you are doing? How much do you collaborate, and how much do you take care of yourself and others? Or in other words, do you really know where you are good at and where you need support? Do you take the time to reflect on where your strengths are and where you want to develop, where you want to become best, and where you are really drawn? You are at the beginning of your professional career, and you have really the unique opportunity to recognize what fulfills you, what you have a talent for, what you have a desire for, and where you want to develop a passion. And these moments where everything comes together, and we call it the flow state, where your head, your mind, your heart, and your hand are all in harmony, I think that's the feeling you should aim for and have most of the time when you make a career. And this number of moments of this flow state could be a very nice measurement to determine whether you are on the right path in your career and in your life. And it could be also a measurement to determine whether you are the one to receive a NEXTGEN award. So dear NEXTGENs, and dear NEXTGEN in your mind, I think the world is open for everyone. The world is really open, and I'm convinced that with the knowledge and experience for those who are at the beginning of their professional career, you have gained enough know-how and you have created enough humus for your next step and for being a really, truly exceptional person. So let's be bold and let's be vulnerable, and let us fill our heart with passion and compassion. And let all of us aim to become nominees for next year's Gen Award. And you might see it's easier than you might think.